Alright guys, so as it seems like the brand new back to school season, the last one from the current update, is finally here, and so is another Burst of Speed, 2 events, and a couple more things I will be having a look into during today's video. So let's have a look. First of all, we have the second Burst of Speed announced during this update patch notes, which has two packs. In one side we have the Bugatti Divo, the Ferrari FA Tributo, and the Ferrari 488 Challenge Evo, and on the other side we have the Bugatti 110, the Lamborghini SC20, and the Lamborghini Sesto Elemento. If I had to pick one, I would likely go for the Bugatti 110 pack, because despite the Lamborghini SC20 is not that big of a deal, the truth is that the 110 is easier to control and roughly as fast as the Bugatti Divo, while the Sesto Elemento, despite it's not as agile as the Ferrari Challenge Evo, accelerates faster. So in the general scheme of things, and despite both packs are mostly oriented towards collectors rather than people looking for good cars to rule multiplayer, I would say that the 110 pack is better than the Divo one, and that's something coming from a person who loves to drive the Ferrari FA Tributo as much as I do, but you know, it's impossible to hide the sun with the tip of your finger. We have already talked about the cars, but in general, I wouldn't go for any of these packs, honestly. Not a single one of them is a king of their respective classes, despite that all of them can fight more or less depending on the multiplayer mode, so that's why if I were a player with enough tokens to max out a car, I would still wait, since this ain't the very best opportunity to dump some tokens. Obviously at the end of the day it's your own choice, but at least I wanted to let you know my thoughts about this. The good side about this part of Speed is that if you own any of these cars for whatever reason, you can get some tokens from the time limited events about these parts of Speed, but for some reason this time none of the time limited events are rank ones, meaning that there is no chance to get any epic import parts of the cars involved, which is a bit sad because I was looking for some parts for my Bugatti 110, which is now at 6 stars, but it's impossible to have everything, I guess. Okay, so now let's have a look at the two simultaneous special events we have on this season, which are first of all the third or fourth time the Ferrari SF90 Stradale is getting a special event rerun, and come on guys, I mean this car has appeared so many times at this point that I think in the future it will be hard to not to have this car golden max. At this point I think I will literally have like 40 or so epic import parts once I'm done with this rerun of the rerun of the rerun. The good thing about this is that there are some nice and juicy tokens that always come handy, so you know, if you put free tokens in front of me, rest assured that I will try to collect them all if I can, of course, because on this Stradale 4th rerun there are a ton of Ferrari cars as requirements, which of course I have, but many of you might not, so keep that in mind. Ferrari as a whole isn't a bad brand inside of Asphalt Legends Unite, but none of their cars is an absolute king of the game, despite that most of them handle really nice in most of the cases. Is it worth to dump some tokens in order to get some Stradale blueprints? Well, only if you are not that far from maxing out, and only if you have the 16 epic import parts, otherwise it's just a skip in my honest opinion. And right below of the Ferrari special event we have the Lamborghini Revuelto special event rerun, but this time without the free key at the very first stage, which is a bit sad but also understandable because it was just a promotion at the time it was released, and now the Lamborghini Revuelto is a bit old, so it made no sense to release it again. The Lamborghini Revuelto, unlike the Ferrari Stradale, is a king of its class, sitting on the elite B-class time limited event, and thus allowing all of its owners to claim some tokens just for playing a race with it. Aside from that, the Lamborghini Revuelto has a quite nice acceleration, a just okayish nitro, and an equally okayish top speed, which in general makes this car a quite good one for the class where it is. On this special event rerun we will need a ton of different Lamborghini cars, some of which are included on the parts of Speed like the Sesto Elemento or the SC20, but as I said, most of the cars present on this special event are quite good, quite solid, but nothing at the level of a king except the Lamborghini Revuelto, of course. Also, on the latter stages of the event, you can claim one epic import part of each one of the required cars you own at max, but there are no keys, so if they appear it will be through offers, since the only key present at this Lamborghini Revuelto rerun is the Revuelto key itself. I will be honest guys, this season is more a season to grab some tokens, relax, and get ready for the likely arrival of the Bugatti Mistral within the upcoming season, which I can assure you guys won't be easy nor cheap to obtain, but we already saw that it's basically another Bugatti LBN, so it will be an interesting car nonetheless, but that's it. I won't be the one who judges you if you decide to spend some tokens to either unlock or max any of the cars of either the Burst of Speed or the two special events available, because all of them are alright, quite decent, really good in some cases, but it's just that there aren't any kings present aside from the Lamborghini Revuelto. So let me know guys, will you go for any of the cars available through this season, or will you just keep saving in order to see what might arrive at the November Burst of Speed? Let me know in the comment section, make sure to drop your massive like, and I will see you really soon as usual with much more Asphalt content. Goodbye guys.